What's going on, guys? If you guys are new to this channel, my name is Jaime Behar, and I am on a path to show every single person in this world that they have the capacity and the abilities to literally create anything that they want. And for myself today, I'm actually on a mission to make $1 million a month in my business. That's not even why I'm here. And what I want to share with you guys today is, guys, everything happens for a reason. The universe, God, whatever you believe, from a subconscious level, from a conscious level, like the actions and the things that happen in our lives are meant to happen. Like, I've never been so sure of that. Like, I know you guys can relate to this. Like, we've all gone through different things in our lives that has really had us question at one moment or another, like, why is this happening? Like, why is this happening today? Why is this happening to me? Why did this person do this? Like, I could have been in a completely different place. Like, there's been so many moments for me where I've always questioned, like, fuck, like, why is this still not working? Like, why is this still not working? And I'm sure you guys have all gone through it. Like, we've all experienced it. Like, I really believe every single person in this world has experienced whatever that feeling in one way, shape, or form. And again, that can really be in anything. And it's something that I always, honestly, like, I didn't necessarily like. I don't think anybody likes, right? Like, why would you want to be sad or depressed or mad or all these different things? Like, why did this person do this to me? And it's like, when we come from this victim mentality, like, it's really hard to see the bigger picture, right? It's harder to make the next choice, make the next decision, really know where to take things. But if you dial it back, right, and you really look at the thing that happened and why it happened, you might end up realizing that there's a bigger purpose and a bigger reason for it. I feel like I've been told this like my whole life, honestly, like whether it was my parents or family or somebody, like, you guys probably heard the word surrender, right? Where they say like, hey, just surrender to what things are. Based on how I grew up, and I don't know if this is like a Hispanic thing, because as Hispanics, like, there's like this machismo of like, you never give up and like, you always win, whatever. Like, it's not just a Hispanic thing, like every culture has it to a certain degree. I think it's just because of the things that I went through growing up, where I was always a shy, quiet kid, right? I got bullied, I got sexually molested when I was a child, and like, I just always had this chip on my shoulder, where like, I felt like I had to conquer, I had to do all these great things, and it was never really fulfilling, right? But it's because I was so caught up on the vision, on just the thing that I had to do, which was really just making money. But throughout that entire process, so many things happened, to the point where I would always be like, man, why is this happening right now? Why am I only making $50K a year? Why can't I get clients? How do I build the business? Like, why is this so hard? Like, why did this person burn me? Right? Like, honestly, like, I have a friend who burned me for $400,000 at one point a couple years ago. And he was like my best friend. Like, he was the best friend, the guy that I trusted with my life. I always felt like he had my back. And I do not think he did it on purpose. I don't. I really think he just made multiple mistakes that he thought I can get out of. But at the end of the day, it burned me, right? Till this day, I don't know what that lesson is. Honestly, I don't even know if I've thought about it enough to like really figure out like, why did that happen? Like, what was the bigger purpose for this? But I'm using that as an example because right now I'm going through something similar again, where I'm just going through something similar where like, I'm just like, dude, why am I still in the same place? Like, why is this still happening? Like, just a few months ago, like, the girl that I was absolutely in love with, like, I was madly in love with her. I wanted to marry her. I want to marry her. I want to give her kids. Like, I want to take care of her. We decided to take a break, and it was not really it was more her decision. And for months I was like, why is she doing this? Why is this happening? And like, there was obviously reasonings as to why it was happening. There was other things that were going on like after that point. But regardless of those issues, like, part of me was like, why is this happening? Like, I don't get it. Like, why like this? Why like now? Like, it didn't make any sense. And I'll give you guys another example. My company was generating $200K a month to $250K. It was 180K a month to $250,000 a month in revenue from October 2024 up until April of 2025. Like, we were on the path to hit $1 million a month in last year, and we couldn't figure out what the issue was. We weren't quite sure what the issue was. And I think this will relate more to you guys, and this is what I really want you guys to hear. I just gave you some of those examples, but hear me on this example. Like, just hear the entire video out. We ended up going 6 months last year where we made not a single dollar, and it came down to because of the decisions that I made back in April. I think about it back now, and I'm like, if we would have just rebranded, we would have almost with 100% assurance would have hit $1 million a month. Like, I really think we would have. Like, thinking back now, all the money that I've lost this past year, all the different, I brought in so many different people on the marketing and sales side the last year that nothing ever really got fixed, right? Like, it never got fixed. And a lot of things got fixed in the business, from our fulfillment to our customer service to our legal to our operations, different things like that. I learned a lot when it came to marketing and sales that I didn't know prior to April of last year. And if we would have just rebranded, we would have hit $1 million a month probably. But all the lessons that I've learned this past year, I would have probably never learned them. On top of that, the man and the person and the entrepreneur that I was in April of 2025 is not the same guy that I am today. If you guys knew me, or if anybody watching this knows me, like you'll know, like you know that I'm not the same person. I was thinking about this today, and like that guy back from April of 2025, if he was still here and we would have hit, that guy back from April of 2025 would have still been here today. Like that guy who I was, that man, that entrepreneur, that father, that partner, would have still been here today. I would have still been operating from that same frequency, from the same thought process, from that same fear. Maybe I would have made millions of dollars more. But would those millions of dollars been worth still being the same person that I was? If you would have asked me this 12 months ago, I would have probably said like, yeah, like I felt like I had it pretty locked in. Like, why not? And thinking about it now today, I'm like, dude, there's no way I would not trade it. I would not trade $5-10 million that I could have made last year for the person that I've become today. And so my message really for you guys today is to surrender to what's happening, surrender to the things that people do to you, to the bad decisions that you make, the external factors that are happening, because what if they're happening for a bigger purpose, right? Like I know they talk a lot about this in religion, and I'm like, I believe in God. And like, you know, they say this all the time. It's like, God does not make mistakes. God doesn't make mistakes. Like there's a reason. There's always a bigger purpose as to why he does what he does. And if you believe in that, you'll relate to what I'm saying. And if you don't, I'm pretty sure you've heard it in many different ways. Like there's always a bigger purpose, right? And so like, yes, part of it is like we can learn from our mistakes and we get better, etc. But like, what if there is a bigger purpose? Like I truly believe that there's always a bigger purpose. And could I have become this guy 8 months ago without having to go through all the crazy shit that I went through the last 8 months? Maybe. But if there's one thing that I've learned is that the fastest way we grow is when we fully choose to become that person we want to become. And most of the time, when we make that choice to become that person we want to become, usually happens when you're like at the ends of it. When you're at the bottom of the bottom, at the bottom of the barrel, maybe you're broke, maybe you lost everything, maybe everybody hates you. I don't know, right? Like not everybody will always hate you, right? But it's an exaggeration. But like, it's like when we're at our bottom, let's just call it that, the bottom. Usually that's the point where people turn around and make changes. Right? And I'm not sitting here and saying that I was at the bottom of my life in March of 2025 or April or June or any of that. I was not. Like I lived a pretty comfortable life. People loved me. I had friends, etc. I'm somebody who is always looking to push myself to the absolute limit. And so because I continued doing that, I drove myself to a place where like, I felt like I hit rock bottom, right? Because I got to the point where I was like, how am I going to make a change? How am I going to make a difference? Like, how am I truly going to fucking change the trajectory of my life and my business and the people around me? And so I had to dig so deep the last 6 months that I had become a completely different person. And I don't know if I would have ever become who I am today if what happened in the last 8 months didn't happen the way they happened. And so I want you guys to really remember that, like really think about that, sit with that, and think about all the things that have happened to you, right? From childhood and your adult life with friends or whatever the case is. What if that was supposed to happen for a bigger reason? What if you can utilize that experience and the things that happened to you, and instead of being a victim to it and just staying there, choosing to dig so deep that you actually transform yourself to the person that you actually want to be. And look, if you already are, that's fucking great. Like I acknowledge you for that. That's amazing. I know that there's a lot of us that aren't. Like I really believe most of us aren't quite there where we want to be. And so again, I will say this, there's a lot of people that are happy. There's a lot of people that love their life. There's a lot of people that believe that they are what they're meant to be. I do think there is people, but I believe more so that there's a lot more people, a lot more on the opposite spectrum that aren't quite there. And I think it's because we have to use those moments as tools and use those moments as experience to really become the man or the woman we want to be, to make a change in our lives, to make a change with our family, to make a change in the world. And so I am just so fucking pumped right now because shit hit the fan at work. And it is, for a split second, I was like, oh man, great. Now we got another thing to worry about. I spoke to like 4 or 5 people in the last few hours, and it got me to the point of like realizing like, this is all meant to happen. Like all these things have happened for a bigger purpose, because now that I've become the man that I know that I am, I can actually lead our company and lead the bigger vision, right? Which is to help people, to like really help people change their lives if they want it, because I believe it's possible. And so I'm just super excited right now that any other day I could have probably been in my shit because like shit hit the fan. But in reality, something great came out of it. And so just want you guys to remember that there's always something good that comes out of bad. Always. Like if you just are willing to look, you will find it. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.